Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Code Man Movies. We have a lot to talk about tonight, guys. I actually got to watch quite a few things. I believe 15 in total in this 1 week time. So I've did good. The cold weather has done something good for me, and working second shift this week was great. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working first shift, so not so great. But we have a lot to talk about this week, which is great. All pretty much horror themed this week, which is awesome because it's October, guys. So lots of horror related things to talk about this week. Before we start, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, like it, you can subscribe it, you can share it, you can do all that crap. At the end of the day, I don't really care that much, but what I want is I want more people that enjoy movies to be watching this and enjoying talking about movies, putting in the comments how much they enjoy the movies. Let's become friends, all of us, and talk about movies. One big lovely area where we can talk about movies and have our opinions and not hate each other. No negativity, please. I don't like that stuff. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's start by grabbing our alcoholic beverages, guys. Tonight I am having almond nog. I found this at Aldi today. Almond nog. It's actually decent. I mixed it with some brandy. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. So grab your alcoholic beverage. It's also my Arcadia cup from when I went to Maine. How nice. Can you even see that? I don't even know if you can, and my watch is currently turned off, so I don't even know if this is actually recording. If this isn't, I look like a big dumb idiot, but of course I am a big dumb idiot. Oh, it is working. Okay. Arcadia. Oh, Arcadia. Ooh, fancy. Okay. Without further ado, guys, let's get talking about movies. Starting with Dahmer, guys. This is Jeremy Renner's first movie he did. I remember seeing this back probably 10 years ago now, back in 2012. This might have... No, it's not true. I knew about Dahmer in middle school, so not the first thing that I ever learned about him, but I think this is the first... No, it's not even the first documentary kind of... Just strike that. Anyways, guys, I watched this 10 years ago. I remember thinking it was fine. Jeremy Renner's performance was good, I thought. The movie itself is just kind of lackluster. And I'm feeling the same way watching it 10 years from now. After also recently watching the Netflix show and the Conversations with a Killer and Dahmer Files, all these other things I've watched lately because of this whole Dahmer renaissance, this movie is very inaccurate. It is very much dramatized. The movie literally opens, actually. One second, guys. I forgot something. Once again, I always forget this. I have it close by, and I always forget. But the movie actually opens saying that, this is very much dramatized. None of the names are accurate, stuff like that. And it's not at all accurate to really anything that happened. Timeline and some of the things he did and how things happened, it's not very accurate at all. So this isn't a movie I would say you should... I'm going to put it this way. If you do not want to watch the Netflix series because it's too graphic, too much, it shows too much, which it doesn't shy away from things in the show. If you're looking to learn more about him in a dramatized way, but not having things too graphic, but still wanting to know some of the things that happened, this might be something for you to watch. Like I said, it's not very accurate, and the movie opens with saying that. I would say 30% of the stuff that happens in this movie is actually true. It uses real victims, but changes their names and changes how things happened with them. So it's not very accurate necessarily, but it does have some true things about it. Jeremy Renner does give a very great performance as Dahmer. I wouldn't say it's as good as Peters. Peters, though, has 10 episodes to really, get into the character and such. So it's difficult to compare that, I guess you could say. And victims have been angry about the Netflix series. And I think they should be more angry at something like this because the victims in this movie very much are real victims in real life. They've just, again, changed their names. And I think in the movie, the victims come off as kind of idiots. Specifically the final victim, Tracy Edwards, I believe it is in real life. He just comes off as an idiot in this movie. And his name is different, but it is very clearly Tracy Edwards. There's only one victim that got away and brought the police in. I mean, it's very clear who it is. So I think the victim's family should be more upset with a movie like this rather than the TV show that is being fairly accurate. Yes, it is bringing up things. Again, we're not going to go into the controversy behind that necessarily. I can understand why victims' families are upset. At the same time, I can also see why these series are being made like this. What I will say is, like I said, Renner does a great job. He definitely portrayed Dahmer in what felt like a very realistic way. This movie does feel more like a TV movie, though. I don't think the script is very good. I don't think it's very cheaply made. Fine, directed fine. It seems like a first-time director, which I think it actually was. So it explains a lot in that. It just feels like a TV movie, and there's nothing big going on here as far as like camera angle, cinematography, editing, or anything like that. It's adequate. It's also, like I said, not very graphic in the sense that the Netflix documentary series, series is. So this might be something for someone to watch if they want to learn about the situation, but not get too much into it. This movie might give you some nightmares, but it's not going to give you the nightmares in the way that the Dahmer series did for me, watching the Netflix series. That will give you some nightmares. This doesn't necessarily. It's very tame compared to what actually happened in real life, which for me is also the big negative. At the end of the day, guys, this isn't terrible. It's okay. Renner is extraordinary in this. I will say that. It's like a 4 out of 10. It's fine. Again, like I said, if you don't want too much graphic stuff, this might be something to watch. If you are just easing your way into the Dahmer story, this might be something to check out. Just keep in mind, it's not very realistic. It just isn't. Next up, guys, I did a movie marathon this week. A couple movie marathons, actually, this week. Starting with Scream. In my film group that I'm with, someone chose this movie, Scream. So we watched Scream, and I absolutely love Scream, guys. This is such a great movie, Wes Craven movie. I absolutely love the movie. I love that Drew is on this poster, and she's in the movie for 10 minutes. I just absolutely love that. I think it is just hilarious. It's very clearly like a joke from Wes and the creators of the movie, that they were just like, we're going to have this big actor in 10 minutes of the movie, we're going to put her all over the marketing and posters, and they're not going to really be in it. Total joke. Very different than another movie we're going to talk about later on that had marketing that showed something and then it doesn't happen. This movie also has an amazing, shocking opening. The image of the mother and the father coming out and seeing the daughter like ripped open, like holy shiznits. What an opening to a movie. Wow. Just absolutely great. I love the characters in this movie. I love Sydney. I love Randy. I love Dewey. I love Courtney Cox's character. What's her name, though? Gail. That's it. Gail Weathers. Absolutely love her. Love all the characters in this movie. They're all just such likable, and they have these weird tics and such that are so great. When I watched this movie the first time not that long ago, honestly, maybe 5-6 years ago. And from the minute that we really got introduced to all the characters, I knew Stu, well, Okay, so when I first watched this movie, I knew Stu was like the killer. I'm like, Stu's the killer. And then though I went, oh, maybe it is Billy. But then I went, no, there's only going to be one killer. There's no way there's two killers. Which, this movie's super old. I'm spoiling this movie, guys. If you haven't seen this movie, spoilers. It's both of them. So, while this movie did not necessarily trick me, I knew who the killer was. I thought it was only going to be one, and it turned out to be two. Which, I like that this movie tricked me without tricking me, if you get what I'm saying. Because I knew who the killers were. I just didn't realize there was going to be two of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really cool. I love the movie inside of a movie, essentially. I love all the meta stuff. They're talking about horror movies. They're literally watching Halloween inside this movie. And it's kind of funny because I also watched Halloween this same day, which we'll talk about Halloween a little more down the road here. But I watched Halloween, and then I watched Scream, and I was like, hey, I just watched the movie. That's kind of cool. It's kind of meta inside meta inside meta. So that was really fun. It's just really fun hearing meta movie talk. I love conversations in these movies that I have with my friends, and it's really fun. Those scenes are some of the most fun for me in these movies, just where they're talking to meta about movies. I absolutely love it. I don't love how... The one scene that bugs me most, honestly, in this movie is when Sidney sleeps with Billy 5 minutes before he's revealed he's the killer. It just felt like they needed a sex scene in this R-rated movie about teenagers. It felt weird to me. I don't know why. That's just the biggest scene that I don't love. I do love how the finale, though, does take place in this one house during this party. A party is where you think you're going to be safe, you're having fun, and then killer happens. And I just absolutely love that. I really do enjoy this movie quite a bit, guys. It is so much fun. You are guessing the entire time. Even though I knew Stu and Billy were the killers, every time you go, okay, that person could be the killer, though. It would make sense for that person to be the killer. And it keeps you guessing, which is really fun to do. I love guessing in a movie. This movie is just such a blast. I love how funny it is. I love how gory it is at times. I love how tense it is. Just a really fun, great movie. Wes Craven is a man who will be missed forever because he just was such a great creator of horror. He really was. I absolutely love Scream. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I absolutely love this movie. It is one I will watch again and again and again. Such a great movie, Scream. Now we're going to talk about Scream 2, guys. I believe this one came a year after the first one. It was kind of rushed, I believe, honestly. But again, this is another movie that needs to be... This is another movie that's just fun. And we need more movies like this that's just fun. Once again, we have a really awesome opening at the movie theater with Jada Pinkett Smith's character. They're at the movies, having a blast. Everyone's yelling and cheering and having a good time. This is why I miss midnight showings, guys, because some midnight showings could be like this. They really can be. And I wish we could get midnight showings back. Not this 7 o'clock on a Thursday crap. Because that means kids can come out. And we don't necessarily want kids. We want actual fans. We don't want just casual people coming. We want fans to come and actually enjoy the movie. We want people that are going to come back the next day because they love this movie franchise so much. And we just don't see that anymore. And I love the beginning of this movie. Everyone's just screaming and having a good old time. There's also bad stuff that happens in this movie, though. People are getting up and getting concessions as the movie starts. People are going to the bathroom. Just don't go to the bathroom during the movie. Come on. Don't go get concessions during the movie. Come on. People do it all the time. It's not really that bad. It's just, that bugs me when I see people like, you're missing the movie. I don't know. I'm weird, guys. I absolutely love all the sequel talk, too. Like, there's so much sequel talk, and again, more meta stuff about this one. I love Dewey and Randy even more with, they're talking about the killer and their love of movie. It just, oh my God, I love every bit of that. I also love, something I forgot to actually say about the first Scream too, is you can tell whoever the killer is in these movies, Ghostface, is a beginner. They're new to this. They're falling down a lot. They're missing a lot. They're clearly struggling to see in the mask. And it just makes it funny and hilarious. And you just realize how big of a klutz Ghostface is. And it's just wonderful. In this movie, he like falls over a chair and stuff. It's hilarious that the killer is struggling this much. And it's a lovely little Easter egg. This person clearly has not been the killer before, and it's just awesome. I love that Ghostface is a klutz. I think my favorite scene in this movie is just Randy talking about horror movies and saying, well, in the sequel, it's got to be bigger and better, and it's got to be blah, 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 blah. He goes on and on and on. And I absolutely love that scene with him and Dewey, just trying to figure out the suspect list, and it's absolutely great. Oh, shut up, Siri. I just want this so I can look at my notes and make sure I'm not forgetting stuff. The car scene, guys. I was actually talking to one of my people in my film group. My ranking for this franchise is one first, then this one. And I think this one puts it above the other ones because of this car scene. This car scene is absolutely... One second. I'm noticing something here. I don't want my phone to die as we're recording this. Something I absolutely love in this movie is that tense car sequence where they're in the car and Ghostface is knocked out and they have to crawl over Ghostface's lap in order to get out of this car. It is such a wonderful, tense, insane scene. Yeah, they probably should have taken off his mask and shot his fucking face, but they didn't. But it doesn't matter, and it's just so tense, and it's so great. God, that scene is so great, so perfect. I love, again, where the finale takes place. I love the finales in these movies, guys. It takes place on the stage at the school. Like, it literally feels like a theater performance at the end when you find out who the killers are. And this time around, I really did not guess who the killers were. Definitely did not suspect Billy's mother would be a killer. And I definitely did... who's the other guy? I forget who the other guy is, but... excuse me. It is late at night, guys, but I'm getting this recorded early, so I can actually have it up on time this week. So it should be up on Tuesday, tomorrow. Let's hope that actually happens, because I actually have to do stuff, you know? I'm just recording right now. Anyways, guys, I did not guess the killers in this one really at all, and it was a fun surprise for me. I really do enjoy Scream 2, guys. It's not quite as good as the first one. There's a little more silly stuff, a little more over-the-top stuff, especially with the killers towards the end for me. But it's still a really fun, exciting movie. It's got some great tense scenes. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10, guys. If I could do... I don't do 7.5s. If I could do a 7.5, though, I would. It's basically a 7.5, but I don't do 7.5s. I keep it even. It's either 7 or an 8. It's either so good it's an 8, or it's not as good with a 7. It's a 7. I'm going to have alcohol because it's just killing me. It's my own rules. I can break my own rules. I don't, though. I won't. Next up, guys, Scream 3. This is definitely the worst Scream out of all the movies that we've gotten so far. There's just not a lot memorable to this one, guys. I will say, I do like that it kind of takes place in Hollywood, making it like meta inside meta inside meta. They're making another Scream movie, or another Stab movie, which is Scream. It's really cool how meta these movies get. I like that it's set in Hollywood, though. The new characters that are introduced in this movie just are not interesting at all. Some of the new characters introduced in the second one are still interesting. Like Sydney's boyfriend in the second one is an interesting character. You definitely think he could be the killer, repeating what happened in the first one. This one just, It's got a lot of nothing in it, honestly. And honestly, the new character is just kind of annoying. I found myself really annoyed with this one at times, and it was mostly because of characters. It's mostly the actors playing the actors in the stab movies that you see on set. They're just all really annoying. I don't know. This one's just a little less interesting with the backstory of Sydney's mother. I don't care about Sydney's mother. We never see her on screen. She's not a character that I'm going to care about because I never saw her. Was it sad that she was raped and murdered and stuff like that? Yes. But again, we've never seen this character. So to find out that she was this terrible mother that cheated on her husband and slept with a whole bunch of men and stuff, I don't want to know that. How am I supposed to like the character if I know she's this terrible human being? Just didn't like that stuff. Again, the meta stuff is in this movie. It's fun. It's not as good, though. Really, the only big meta stuff you really feel with this one almost is the fact that they're in Hollywood. There's a lot of that kind of meta stuff. There's nothing really like, oh, the third in the franchise that I love the way I did in the second one and the first one. It's fun to see, like, the set of Greensboro. Like, again, it's just the Hollywood fun feel of it that I like about it, and I like that we're on these sets making another stab movie. That is the setting of this movie is more fun for me than the actual movie itself, which is sad. This one's also a lot sillier this time around. Ghost is like throwing the knife at Dewey. I did read something, or I was watching a video on YouTube or something that said this one came out around the time of 9/11. And there was this need and this want to not make things so dark because of 9/11, which I guess makes sense and would make sense why this movie was a lot sillier. Just that scene specifically of Ghostface throwing the knife at Dewey and Dewey just stands and looks at it as it's happening. Like, it feels like Dewey's literally like, he's going to throw a knife at me. I'm going to stand here and wait. And I didn't like that scene. I do like the trauma storyline with Sydney, though. At 18 years old, 17 years old, however old she is in the first one, when you go through something like your mom dying, being murdered, and then you have your boyfriend and your friend killing your friends and trying to kill you, yeah, you're going to be messed up for quite a while. And then you go on to college and it happens again. Oh, God, yeah, you're messed up. So I like this trauma bit. I like that she stays home. I like that she's constantly locking things. I do like that. I really do like that a lot. I do love that Dewey and Gale finally get together in this one. In the second one, I wish they had kind of gotten together. They really didn't. It was like the first one happened. They kind of maybe dated for a half a second. And then they're in the second one now, and they're broken up, and they're kind of back together, but they're not by the end, kind of. And now the third one, they're finally actually, like, getting together. Like, they are a couple by the end of this movie. I don't really guess who the killer is, and at the same time, I really don't care. The killer is so boring and forgettable. It's just like, he's a little baby brat, honestly. And I don't care about the killer this time around, and there's no tension for me. Really, this one just doesn't have the tension I want it to be. Again, I watched a YouTube video, I think, is where I found out that this one happened around 9/11, which I don't know when, I think this one came out around 2001, 2002, 2003, somewhere like that. So it would make sense that that's maybe why this one was toned down a little bit because of 9/11. So, this one's not my favorite. It's still an enjoyable movie. It's not one I don't enjoy rewatching this one as much. I get bored watching it, especially when I know what's going to happen. It's still an enjoyable movie, though, guys. It's still good. It's still Wes Craven. It's a 6 out of 10, I would say, for me. Definitely not as good as the second or the first, but still an enjoyable movie. Next up, guys, Scream 4. This, honestly, I remember sitting in class and there was a teacher or somebody that was talking about Scream 4, how they were really disappointed by this movie. And I had never seen those movies. I knew of Ghostface Mask, but I'd never seen the movies. That was really the first time I went Scream. I need to watch that movie eventually. Yeah, that was really the first time I ever really heard of it, I guess. Again, guys, just like all the other movies, opening to this movie is great. I love the meta talk. There's way meta talk and way the opening inside of opening inside of opening. I absolutely love that. Love that Dewey and Gail are finally together. I think they're married in this one. Love it. I absolutely love it. Keep them together. I want them to be together. I absolutely love that. Sid also feels like a stronger person in this one. You get the feeling that she has dealt with her trauma, that she has moved on, and she just feels like a very strong person. And that's something I'll say about all these movies. Sydney has always been a very strong character. I love strong female characters in my movies. I don't want damsel in distresses all the time. I freaking hate that. I love strong female characters. I love that Wes and the writers made this girl strong. I like that. I also like the new cast. You have Hayden Panettiere and Emma Roberts and I forget her name. There's a whole bunch of little cameos too, kind of, with Dax Shepard's wife, Kristen Bell, and Kristen Robert. Is that it? I forget her name. Anyways, there's a bunch of little cameos here. The new people are great. This movie very much is a mixture of the legacy and the newer cast, and they kind of get mixed together. And I liked the new cast. I really did. Love all the meta movie talk. I feel like this one, well, maybe this one's got a lot of meta movie talk, and I love it. I just love all that. Some really great humor when they're just like, F Bruce Willis, and that kind of stuff. And I don't really guess who the killers are in this one either, honestly. Again, what I love about these Scream movies is that every single person's a suspect, and every single person has a motive, and you're like, it could be you. Maybe it is Sydney. Maybe she's getting revenge for the past 3, and maybe she's the killer now. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love these fun, tense sequences that are in this movie as well. Let's talk about Dewey, though, guys. Dewey should definitely be dead. I don't want him dead. He's like my favorite character in these movies, but holy crap, he's been stabbed like 9 times and shot like 100 times. I mean, this man's like freaking invincible. And yeah, he's limping, but dang, Dewey should be dead. Especially in this one, like, he is blah T in this one. How has he not died? I just don't understand that. Again, I don't want him to die. I love him, but he seems like he's the one that's getting the crap beat out of him the most, too. Like, he is just taking so many stabs and shots and punches and thrown against walls and just, wow. Good job, Dewey. Way to take it for the team, man. Good job, man. The phone calls feel very intense in this one compared to the others. The phone calls from Ghostface, they feel very intense, and he's just going at him. Absolutely love that. I gotta stop saying so much. God, that drives me nuts. There I go, I did it again. God, Cody, have some more alcohol. Maybe you'll stop saying Anyway, guys, let's keep going. I also like that in this movie, they're like recording their kills. They're trying to make their own stab movie, but it's actually real life. It's very interesting. They're almost like trying to make a documentary, real life crime kind of thing. I actually kind of like that. It's very interesting. The lighting is weirder in this one, though. This one feels much more modern. It feels like everyone's face. Like, look at this poster even. It looks like everyone's face is lit up with the exact same kind of light I'm using. And it doesn't look that way in the other 3 films. This one just felt like it needed to be more 2010-y and needed to have everyone's face just super lit up. It does look a little weird and a little different. I also have to say, this movie in particular, in the first, second, third, I kind of bought it. This movie is really where I start going, okay, this movie's 10 years old, so I'm going to spoil it. Emma Roberts' character is Ghostface, and there's specific scenes where you know it's her as Ghostface, and it doesn't make sense with what she is doing. Like, I'm sorry. Courtney Cox can kiss your little butt. There is no way that you were taking her down like this. No way in Sam Hill. And this is the first time where I really start noticing it as I'm watching the movies. Other movies, I kind of buy it. Stu and Billy, you can buy it. The second one, the mother's not so much a part of it as the other guy, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is, but that guy. And then the Hollywood guy, that one makes sense too. This is the first one I'm like, okay, Emma Roberts, she just can't be doing these things. And I'm not saying Emma Roberts is a wimp. I'm not saying girls can't kick, grown men, adults, but come on, Emma Roberts, no. If Sydney was the killer, I would maybe buy it. Like, she's had experience with this crap. But this is the first time where I just kind of start noticing it. It doesn't necessarily take me out of the movie necessarily, but you can tell that a stunt double, that a different person is in the actual costume when they're the killer. Because they're taller, they're just bulkier. It's very clear that it's someone else. It's not Emma Roberts actually in the costume. And it's just the first time that I see it. I mean, they're breaking down doors. They're doing these insane stunts. And it's just weird. I love that the women are strong, though. Like I said, these women are not just screaming. They're putting up fights. They're doing, Gail is constantly like, I'm going to take down this mother effer. To the point where Dewey's like, stay out of it. She's like, don't tell me what to do. And she goes and does it. You know what I mean? Love it. Not as good as the second. Not as good as the first. Better than the third, though. I'd give this one a 7 out of 10. It's still really good. I remember in high school, I think it was a student teacher was like, not good. They should have stopped with the first two. This one's good. I think this is a worthy sequel. I really do. Maybe it was just at the time. I don't know. I think this is a solid sequel. I really enjoy Scream 4. It really is just a lot of fun. Now going to the fifth one, guys, I have already talked about this movie a couple times on this podcast. I think I've done separate, just a standalone review for it. I really like Scream 5, guys. It is so much fun. I really, really like the new cast in this one. More even than the fourth one. You got Dylan Minnette's character and the twins, and I like the sister dynamic in this one. Really sad that Gail and Dewey have divorced and split and stuff. The reason that they have in the movie makes sense. Gail wanted to go on to be this New York host, and Dewey's just not a New York kind of guy. So it worked for me. I feel like it was also partially due to the fact that Courtney Cox and David Arquette got divorced in real life. They seem to be friends still in real life, though, so maybe that's not necessarily the case. Maybe that's just where they wanted to go with it. I just wish they could be together. They're such a nice couple. They complete each other. Gail's high-minded and a prick at times, and Dewey's just such a good guy. And it worked out. I miss it. I hate that. I hate that we only got Gail and Dewey for one movie together. Just makes me sad. I love the connections to the legacy cast from like the first and second movie that have died. I like the connections to Randy. They also talk about, what's the other one they talk about? Because Randy is the twins' uncle, I think. There's one more. Oh, Stu. No. Is it Stu? Oh, no, there is one to Stu. Stu as well. I forget who it is. I don't know. Someone's related to Stu, too, and I liked that. The one I did not like, though, was the Billy one. Billy shows up as, like, a vision ghost to our main character. I forget her name. Bad with names. Sam. Is that right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, he shows up as what he looked like. Well, they tried to make him look like he looked like, but he didn't. He looks much older now, which doesn't make any sense. Shows up as a ghost, and it just doesn't make any sense. And like, he's motivating her. Don't let this guy kill your friends and family. You killed other people's friends and family. Why are you motivating your daughter now? I didn't like that. I think you could have had that kind of twist in there where she is the daughter of Billy Loomis. I think that would have worked. It's just that you don't need to see the vision ghost. I just didn't like that. The motivation of the fact that she is the daughter, that was enough for me. Again, split that. He just feels like the good guy. When he's motivating her to take down Ghostface, he feels like a good guy. I don't like that. He's not a good guy. He killed all these people. I love, again, the meta stuff. How they're talking about requels, legacy cast, new cast. There's that Ryan Johnson movie. The current movie talk that happens in this is just fantastic. I love how they use names from horror. Like, there's Wes from Wes Craven, and like Sam Carpenter. That is her name. It's Sam Carpenter. I like how they use Carpenter. I like all the references to the old Hollywood horror movies. I absolutely love that this is a love letter to old horror movies. I love that. Stop saying the scene with Wes and it building tension where he is in the shower, he opens the door, you go, shoot, nothing. And then he opens another door, nothing. Opens the fridge, nothing. And then you finally get Ghostface. Like, absolutely insane, great scene. I absolutely love that scene. Oh, such a great scene. I absolutely love that scene. That scene gets me every stinking time. Seeing the hospital, I noticed it when I was watching it this time. Dewey and Sam get in a car and they're starting to drive to the hospital. And it is daylight. Wes and his mother are murdered in broad daylight. Like, it might be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. They're driving to the hospital and it literally goes from like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It's dark as heck. And I just noticed that this time around. A little nitpick, I guess. The kills are so much fun in this one. They are very gory, very graphic, very, very intense kills. Some of them are a little too much, like the Dewey one, especially when you find out who the killer is. Again, going back to the fourth one, there's just no way. There's two killers in this one again. There's no way either of those two could have did that, in my opinion. It just, okay, you're going a little over the top in this one. But it's still fun kills. I love that this one goes back to the house. They go back to Stu's house. I like that all these kills, and I love how they're watching stab in the exact same room where the first stab happens. Like, I absolutely love the meta in this movie. It's so much fun in this one. Motive is not so great. Like, the motive for the killers, this is the first one I went like, okay, I don't buy your motive. It's dumb. It's just fandom and wanting to make the movies better and just this toxic fan culture stuff. It was not my favorite. Another thing I really noticed in this is, where the heck is the mom? You have your two daughters being killed, basically. Your youngest daughter is stabbed like 7 times, and you're going to stay on vacation with your boyfriend? It seems like they were maybe like setting it up for the 6th one where she's going to show up and it's going to be this actress that's going to be super famous that they're hoping to get, but they haven't gotten yet. Kind of the same way they did with Ant-Man, where they're like, we're not going to reveal the identity of the mother because we want to wait for the 2nd one and reveal, oh, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's what it felt like with this. The only, like, parent in this movie is Wes's mom, who was the character in the 4th one, the police officer in the 4th one, who's now sheriff. Like, that is literally, like, the only parent in this movie, and it's so weird. I don't understand the choice of that. It felt very weird for some reason. Not a big complaint. It's just something I noticed. There's a lot of more in this movie. I just feel like there's some things that I notice. And I don't hate them. It's just That's interesting. I really like this one, guys. This one, for me, the ranking of these movies is 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. This is literally, it's tough not putting this one in the second spot almost. I really do enjoy this one. I'm going to give it another 7 out of 10, guys. This is very enjoyable. I'd say 2, 5, or 2, 4, and 5 all get 7s. They're all 3 really enjoyable, and I really enjoy them. And they could switch. Again, if I did my point system, it would be like 7.2 for Scream 4. Then this one had like a 7.5 and 7.8 for Scream 2. I really, it's just a solid franchise, guys. It really is. There's only one that I find and I don't want to watch every time I do the franchise watch. So yeah, guys, that has been the Scream franchise talk. Oh, how far are we? Oh, we're only 40 minutes in, guys. This is going to be a long episode. So let's get started talking about our next thing, guys. I finished watching She-Hulk. The finale happened this last week. And boy, did I not enjoy this show. This is not a good show at all. The first 2 episodes I found very enjoyable. 3 got worse, but it was still fine. 4 got even worse. It was still fine. And then 5, 6, 7 happened. All just not good, in my opinion. Really not good. And then 8 happened with Daredevil. It was a more enjoyable. I mean, it was like, it started up here, went, and then the show was going like this, and then the finale went, because I do not like this finale, guys. I admire what it's going for. I admire the meta-ness. We were just talking about Scream and all the meta. I admire that. But the thing is, She-Hulk comes into our world, comes out of her TV show, into the real world, and says, I don't want none of that to happen. And then we cut back to the show, and none of it's happened, and it's just, okay, well, that conflict's over. We're just going to ignore that. And, the police are there. Everything's taken care of. Okay, but what happened? You can't just... gosh, this show really did bug me, guys. And I really wanted to like it, guys. Like I said, I like strong female characters. I just love strong female characters. I liked the idea of She-Hulk. The show is called She-Hulk Eternity at Law. There's not much eternity stuff that happens in this movie. It's just all this random, weird stuff that happens. And I get it. It's supposed to be a sitcom-y feel. I just didn't buy it. I thought WandaVision did a better job of making sitcom-y feel than this did. Guys, just at the end of the day, this is all very messy and overstuffed with all this plot and stuff. And and the finale was just so very messy and bloated. It has her going to prison, and then it has her living with her parents. And then she goes to the retreat place. And then she's got to go to the meeting. And then she breaks the fourth wall. And then it's all just over. And there was some good jokes in the finale. The Kevin Feige robot thing, that was interesting. I liked it. It's a good joke. He said something don't transform on screen. We gave our budget to a different movie, and hear the Black Panther score. I liked that. That is a funny joke. And it would have been even funnier if it actually, the ending, stick the landing a bit more. I don't know. It just went on way too long with this meta, fourth wall breaking stuff. But at the end of the day, it felt very lazy and bland and just, here's the result, here you go. This is your ending. It was ballsy, but it's just lazy. It just felt very lazy, and I'm excited to see this character more, though. I will say that. What's her name? Tatiana Maslany. She's fantastic in this. She really is. She's a great She-Hulk. I'd love to see her in the movies. I can't wait to see more banter between her and Bruce Banner. I thought that was great in the first 2 episodes. I'm excited for more to come, but this show at the end of the day, it's not good. It's like a 4 out of 10 for me. Honestly, episodes 5, 6, 7, I was bored. I was just, it was a hassle. It was a chore watching this show at times. That's not what you want, especially in your Marvel stuff. This year, Marvel has just really disappointed me. I will say that. Next up, guys, I keep saying sorry, guys. I have been watching a lot of documentaries lately. I have been into documentaries big time lately, ever since Dahmer. And this time around, I watched I Love You, You Hate Me. And this connects to me because I was a huge Barney fan when I was like 3 to 5, you know. Loved Barney. My parents would sing Barney when they didn't want to sing Barney. They didn't hate Barney because it shut me up. But I was a huge Barney fan. So I really immediately related to this when I saw just this poster. This was the poster I saw on Peacock, and I went, I'm watching that one. And I'm glad I did. I learned a lot about this. My parents were very overprotective as well. And that's why they let me watch Barney, because there was just nothing bad about it. It's literally just all happy things. Which I found very interesting because the creator of this, I forgot what her name was. It was, do I have it in here? I don't. I forgot her name. Oh, I don't remember. My brain's not working. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Anyways, guys, the creator of this, she wanted something for her child that her child could watch that was appropriate. Her son liked dinosaurs. Barney the dinosaur. That's kind of how it came about. And I like the connection between that and my parents, I guess. I had no idea that there was this much hate for Barney, though, guys. Maybe you don't know this either, but Barney was absolutely hated. People started these hate clubs. People were sending the cast and crew death threats. People were... There's interviews in this where there are kids that were in this show talking about how they went down this dark path with drugs and alcohol and all this stuff. Not because they were child actors like some child actors turn out to be. It was the hate from people that just did not like Barney. These kids talk about how they had such a wonderful experience, how everyone really was a family, that everyone talked to each other, everyone hung out together, how wonderful an experience it was, but how horrible the aftermath was because of people just telling them, just people that hated Barney for some reason. I understand if you don't want to watch it, but then you don't have to hate it. Good golly. But it was just awful how much people talked about how awful it was. And there are interviews of people that are like leaders from these hate clubs. They were just talking about how they would do all these horrible things. Like, just sending these letters and such like that. It's absolutely awful. I just can't believe that someone would be giving death notes because they wrote a song for Barney. Dumbest thing ever. And it's also funny, in this documentary, they ask members of cast and crew and stuff to sing the I Love You song, and they won't do it because it's just such... They're so traumatized by what happened in the aftermath. They just don't even want to sing a song, and that just blew my mind. I had no clue about any of this. And also, the interesting thing that this documentary brings up, too, is towards the end of Barney's run was really when the internet started. And they started, more people send out these emails and such like that. Just all this stuff about Barney. If you're involved with Barney, you can die. And just awful. I just had no clue about any of this. I had no clue about the creator and some of the stuff that happened with her family. I won't spoil anything necessarily. I encourage you to go watch this documentary. It hasn't even been out for a week yet. It is a very, very interesting documentary, guys, and it's definitely something you should check out. There's stuff that happened with her family, absolutely awful, and it's just insane what happened. There was also some really interesting people that were interviewed for this documentary. Like I said, there's people from the hate groups. Steve from Blue's Clues. He's recently been up in the news and stuff. He did that one video that's like, hey, I haven't seen you guys in a while. And that's okay. Because we can still be friends, even though we haven't seen each other in a while, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was a great little video. Bill Nye was in this, too. Just so many different people. The voice of Barney, the Barney performers that were actually in the costume were in this. Interesting stuff as well with the Barney performers, particularly one of them. I think he was the longest Barney performer. I learned some stuff, very interesting stuff. I Googled some interesting stuff from watching this documentary. Just a very interesting documentary, guys. I check this one out, honestly. It's an interesting one. Whether you love Barney or hate Barney, whether you did watch it or didn't watch it, this is a very interesting documentary to check out because you just learn a lot from it. And it's so interesting, the creation and just the aftermath of all this. And just, it was absolutely awful. And I do count this as a horror movie, guys. This everything that happens is awful. There's some awful stuff from something that was supposed to be about love and happiness, and it just blows my mind. Absolutely fantastic documentary, guys. I'm going to give this like a 9 out of 10. It's very well paced. I love the interviews they got. Just a really solid documentary, guys. So check this one out. Seriously. Next up, guys, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I went to the theater to see this, guys. It was a 10 o'clock showing at one of my local theaters. And I believe this is the first time I've seen it in theaters. And boy, is this a movie to see in the theaters. It really is. First of all, just the starting of this movie. What a great score. I also love that there are times where the score sounds like an alarm, a fire alarm. There were some people that clearly had never seen this movie before, and they were like, are we supposed to be getting up? Is this a fire alarm? Is there a fire? Like, you could tell they were freaking out a little bit. I absolutely loved that. Great acting in this movie. Everyone from Johnny Depp's character to Nancy, but I'm forgetting what the actress's name is. Heather Langenkamp, something like that. She's absolutely fantastic in this movie. I mean, Freddy Krueger, what's his name? I can't remember his name either. Guys, I'm blanking tonight. It sucks. Absolutely great acting in this. I love how everyone feels very vulnerable in this movie. You connect to kind of everyone in this movie. Nancy is a character you can connect to. She's just having these nightmares and these things are coming to life and no one's believing her. There's a lot of vulnerability with that, and I just absolutely love it. And I love how they grow throughout. Everyone, even from her mother and father, who are... I forgot how much her mom is an alcoholic and how funny it is. Like, she's reaching into her cabinet. She's about to go to bed. She's got a bottle of vodka. Everyone in the theater was laughing during these parts, and that's what I really love. I'm so happy I saw this in the theater, because watching this at home, I went, oh my God, she's drinking another bottle of vodka. And this time around, I'm laughing at it with the crowd, because we're all just laughing like, oh my God, she's got another bottle of vodka in her bed. Absolutely hilarious. Such a great theater experience watching this movie, guys. I absolutely love Freddy. He is so scary. He's so creepy. He's got this funny side. He's got these one-liners. Just his flair, too. Like when Nancy is at the end, dead end, and Freddy just puts his hand out. I love that. It's so great. Absolutely love Freddy. Such a great horror icon, in my opinion. The backstory also is insane. How he was this actual child killer, and her mom and another group of parents burned him in a fire. Like, such an interesting, weird backstory, but I love it. My notes. Okay. Sorry, it was upside down. There are some insane kills this too. I love when you can't see Freddy because it's the dream, kind of, and the friend is on the ceiling and falling, and then Johnny Depp's one where he's in the bed and just absolutely love these scenes. Love how much humor there is. Again, my theater was laughing throughout a good chunk of this. And you're supposed to laugh. Like, it's Wes Craven again. And he has just got this great sense of comedic timing with the horror, and it's absolutely perfect. Love the premise, too. This idea that you can't go to sleep because the killer will come and get you in your sleep. I absolutely love that. Like, what a way to keep your audience from going to bed at night because they're scared of falling asleep because of what happened in your movie. I just absolutely love it. Where am I at? And I also love the practical effects. Some of them are a little wonky looking at them now. Freddy's really long arms. Yeah, they're not. But there's some really great practical effects in here that I really enjoyed. And this is just really a solid movie, guys. A lot of fun stuff in this. I had such a blast seeing this in theaters. One of the theaters in my area, they're playing classic horror movies. The week before they did The Exorcist. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see it. This week was Nightmare on Elm Street. Next week, it's next week anyway, is The Shining. I really hope I can get a chance to go see that in theaters because boy, would that be great. And then the last week is Halloween, which why did they put Halloween this week? That's beyond me. Halloween Ends came out. I don't know. I won't be able to see that in theater, unfortunately, because I will be trick-or-treating with my cousin in Minnesota. So I'll be in Minnesota doing a cousin's weekend. We might not have an episode that week. We'll see what happens. I may not be able to see a lot of movies that week, too. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, absolutely love seeing this in the theater. This is such a great classic horror movie, and I absolutely loved it. I love seeing it again for probably, 10th time maybe I've seen this movie. I love this movie. It's such a fun time. 9 out of 10, guys. This is really a solid horror movie. A couple weird little silly things that happen, but such a solid movie. I absolutely love Nightmare on Elm Street. Really great movie, guys. If you have not checked out Nightmare on Elm Street, watch Nightmare on Elm Street. It's such a good movie. Next up, guys, we also did a Halloween movie marathon this week. So we're going to talk about the original Halloween first, guys. The best Halloween movie. We're just going to get into it. Halloween's just the best. Guys, this is just such a great classic movie. This is probably my favorite ever horror movie. Every time this is on TV, every time I get a chance to watch, I love this movie so much. It's such a good movie. I love how the movie opens with Michael as a child, and it's through his eyes. I absolutely love that. I love how they take off the mask, and you just see him with his knife. Absolutely love it. I love Dr. Loomis, and I love how you immediately understand how dangerous he is just from Dr. Loomis saying a couple lines about Michael. I absolutely love that. Jamie is great in most of her scenes. There's a couple scenes where she's overacting, where the other actors that are newer to this are overacting. This was a very cheap movie at the time, and it shows at points when it comes to the acting, I would say specifically, but still, it doesn't take you out of the movie necessarily. It's just, there's definitely some lines that are not so great. But for the most part, Jamie Lee Curtis just does such a great job in this role. I love her as Laurie Strode. Really do. She's Scream Queen, man. She's bomb. Love her in this. The tension in this movie is so good, and it's so scary without even just Michael Myers standing out on the hedges there, just watching, and then disappearing. Love it. I love those little bitty scenes, and him just following them in the car is great. I love that. The scene where Loomis is looking at the hardware store and Michael drives past and Loomis then looks and he misses, like, it's so perfect. I absolutely love the tension in this movie. I also love, there's really not that much gore in this, guys. There are some, definitely, the scene where he takes the knife and into the wall, like, it's horrific deaths for sure, but it's not that gory, it's not that bloody, and that has changed. That has very much changed in later movies, but it's fantastic. I love how little, it just goes to show a horror movie does not need to have blood, guts, and gore. It just needs tension, and that makes a great horror movie. More movies nowadays need to learn from this movie, and they're just not, including other Halloween movies. We'll talk about that later. This movie, again, it had a low budget. I think I heard in a video, or again, read somewhere that, like, because it was, like, summer when they made this movie in, like, California, I believe, they literally had to grab garbage bags of leaves and throw it out on the lawn and then pick them up when they were done shooting a scene to bring it to the next location to make it look like it was Illinois fall. I love that. This movie is just so creative and so smart, and I feel like part of that could be because of the budget too. Like, they had to be creative, they had to be smart with these things. And I love that Laurie Strode, again, she is a strong character. She's this smart girl. It created a trend, really, though, that the last girl is always smart and she's always going to be a virgin, and don't have sex in horror movies, guys. You'll die. I just absolutely love that. It's so interesting to me. Halloween is such a great movie, guys. I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. So much tension. Michael Myers is such a great character. He's so flipping creepy, even though he's just a guy in a janitor suit wearing a mask. I love that. I love it. I just love it. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about Halloween 2018. Excuse me. I remember when this was announced, and David Gordon Green coming on writing, and you got Danny McBride writing, and I went, no. And then the first trailer came out, I went, okay. And then I went and saw the movie, and I went, this is not what I expected it to be, but I really, really enjoyed this. This, for me, is the best Halloween sequel that we've ever gotten, guys. I really do enjoy Halloween 2018. There are some stuff in here, though, that I really do hate. And every time I watch this movie, I cringe. I was actually working last night, closing down the bar, and this movie was on. And some of those moments happened. I just cringed cleaning and mopping as I was listening to this movie and watching it as I was mopping. First of all, I talked about it with Scream 3, how it showed Sydney having this trauma. You wouldn't just be happy dory, dunky dooey after all this stuff, after experiencing it at that age. And again, Laurie is locking her door, she's got her bunker, she's doing all these stuff. And I absolutely love that it shows her trauma. Jamie is absolutely freaking awesome in this movie. She absolutely kills it in this movie. Daughter and granddaughter are great. Allison and Karen, they're both great in this movie. Who's the actress? Judy Greer. And, I forget the actress's name. I can't remember. I'm tired. Is it Maddie? I can't remember. They're all great. Great characters. I absolutely love those characters. What I don't love, though, about Allison is that this movie focuses a lot on her, which would be fine. That wouldn't be a negative necessarily, but, like, focus on stupid stuff. She goes to this dance with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend cheats on her, throws her phone, which makes it so she doesn't have her phone. I hate that. Just get rid of that entire... I hate in movies that nowadays that we have to have this romance. It was something I talked about, I think, last week with The Woman King. We do not need romantic relationships in movies. Halloween does not need a romantic relationship, necessarily. Laurie Strode, in the original Halloween, there's no relationship. It's fine. It works. It makes it better. And this movie spends way too much time on this relationship between teenagers. That's just, I also do not love the podcasters in this movie. I understand why they're kind of in the movie. Like, I actually argued about this with my buddy over the summer. He said, well, that's how Michael gets his mask back. I'm like, okay, first of all, there's no way in Sam Hill they would have that mask. That is evidence. That is a crime scene evidence thing. Like, no way in Sam Hill that they would... I borrowed this from the Attorney General's office. What? No, you didn't. No. The only way he got that mask is he stole it. What a bunch of baloney. I don't buy that for a second. There just could have been so much better ways of doing that. So take the podcasters right out of this movie. I can't stand the podcasters. Great way they die, though. I mean, their death scene is, holy crap, insane and intense. And wow, the kills are gory in this one, which I enjoyed. We don't necessarily need it, but dang, are there some fun, interesting, bloody, brutal deaths in this movie. I hate that thing with the mask. The whole doctor thing really isn't good. I think it could have worked. I think that would have been a better way to have given Michael his mask, is having the doctor, instead of the podcasters being killed, instead of all this beginning stuff with the podcasters, maybe just had the doctor being on the bus with him, and then Michael takes it from the doctor, and then kill the doctor. Don't have the doctor be around and do this crap where they have this twist where he wants to understand Michael's brain, or have that happen, but not have him throw him in the back of a car with an innocent girl. What the actual hell? I absolutely hated that. So stupid. There's also way too much humor in this. I got peanut butter on my penis. Absolutely stupid. The thing in the cop car, where the cops are talking about their dinner, their lunch, whatever. Absolutely stupid. Get that crap out. And I think that's kind of more of the Danny McBride kind of stuff that they really added to it. Take that out. We don't need that crap. It also gets silly. While I said some of the kills are really great in this movie, there are other ones that are just stupid. Michael Myers steps on the doctor's head and the head just explodes. First of all, how freaking strong are you that you can just stomp on a guy's head and it's going to explode? No way in Sam Hill, that's how it works. I'm sorry. The first one, Michael Myers pins a guy to a flipping wall with a knife. So that is unrealistic, I guess, but come on. That's ridiculous. And there are moments where these fun, over-the-top kills do work. I think the scene with the babysitter with the boy, I think that humor did work. That was a cute little relationship between babysitter and child being babysat. That was very interesting. I liked those scenes. That kid getting the hell out of there, I enjoyed that. Absolutely love that, but just some other stuff that was too much. Stop saying I absolutely love the score and the sound in this movie. It is absolutely phenomenal. John Carpenter comes back to do the score with his son. Absolutely phenomenal. Very wonderful score. Just love the eeriness and the wonderfulness of it. I love the one shot. There's a couple real good shots where they just stick with Michael as he's killing victims. Absolutely fantastic. There's just so much care and love put into this. They were very honored and excited to come and give this another shot, essentially. And I like that this movie is basically just the sequel to the original Halloween. I like that they retcon all the other movies because we didn't need them. There was stuff in there that weren't so great. Even like Halloween 2, which I enjoy. It doesn't need to. The whole brother-sister stuff, I don't like that. So I'm glad that was taken out. I'm glad that they get rid of that. I love how much Michael plays with his victims too. The Halloween, the pumpkin head in the cop car, and the babysitter with the sheet. All that is absolutely great. The Easter eggs that they throw in here, going back to the original Halloween, how Michael goes to the ground at the end of the movie. In the next shot, he's gone. I love how Laurie does that in this one. I love the ending as well. And I honestly kind of wish this was the end. This battle is so fantastic between Laurie and Michael. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit here. But absolutely love that battle between Michael and Laurie, where she's standing at the door and Michael's putting his hand in and stuff. Brutal, intense. So much tension filled, where she's exploring the rooms, putting the door down to make sure, hey, this room's been checked. He's not in there. He's not getting in there now. Absolutely love that. yeah, like I said, I love the ending of this. I love that she traps him, puts him in the house. I wish this was the end. I wish they were just like, we're going to make one more Halloween movie, and it's going to be the sequel to the original Halloween, and it's going to be the end. I wish that's what this was. I wish they just called this Halloween Ends and not Halloween again. I hate that. So we have Halloween, Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. That's stupid. I hate that. You know, at the end of the day, I really do enjoy this movie. It's a good movie, very enjoyable movie, a lot of fun for horror fans. The writing can be lazy with the journalists having to do all this exposition and this party to throw away the phone so that we can have, oh, where's Allison? Where's Allison? We can't find Allison. I didn't need that. A couple stupid characters with the doctor and the journalists. I hate that. How long? We're probably at over an hour at this, aren't we? Oh boy, we're at an hour and 10 minutes. Long one. Told you, it's going to be a long one today, guys. Long one indeed. All right. At the end of the day, guys, this Halloween movie, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It is really enjoyable. There's just a lot of silly stuff in here that I just can't stand. Get rid of Cameron's character. We don't need a boyfriend. We just don't. Have him be a friend that just gets killed. I don't know. It just, I hate that. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about Halloween Kills, a movie that I have talked about quite a few times, I think, on this podcast. If you have watched past episodes, you know that I do not like this movie. I really don't. It's just... First of all, Hawkins was very clearly ran over in Halloween 2018. That man is dead. He was stabbed in the throat and then run over. That man is dead. But nope, he's alive in this one. Very first scene, he's alive. Nope, I don't buy that. Flashbacks are done really well. It looks like it was back in the 70s with the old feel of the film. Terrible police work. I remember when I went and saw this in the theater with my buddy over a year ago now. And that my buddy is now a police officer. He goes, wow, terrible police work. And boy, is there some terrible police work, especially in that flashback. Again, score is really great. Absolutely love the sound editing, the sound mixing, all that. The sound is really great in this movie. All the scenes at that bar are terrible. How the husband and the couple are there, and they're like, can you just calm it down a little bit, okay? We're trying to watch a talent show here. Ugh, what the hell? And then how all of a sudden we have a talent show, and then we have, I forget what the hell his name is. I don't even care. The one guy goes up, and he's like, Michael Myers killed everyone those years ago, and I was that kid Laurie Strode was babysitting. Like, what the hell? Why did we go from funny talent show to this? It just, I hate the tonal shift that this movie just does at times. I just absolutely hate that start with the bar. Everything in that bar, everything at that bar is stupid. Absolutely hate it. There's just also some over-the-top acting in that scene, in my opinion. Like, this isn't Days of Our Lives. I do not like the acting in some of that. The way Michael survives is kind of dumb. Like I said, I really wish that Halloween 2018 had been Halloween Ends, and that's how he died. Because there's just no way that Michael is surviving that fire like that. Like, he hides in the gun case? Okay. I just didn't buy how he got out of that. Great kills with a firefighter, though. Absolute blast with all of that. Just, wow. What great kills in that sequence. When the firefighter's reaching down and Michael pulls him down. Absolutely love that. The older couple that now live in Michael Myers' house in this movie are absolutely stupid. They're just so over the top and ridiculous. Nothing to do with the fact they're a gay couple. I absolutely like that. I love that. I love that there's a gay couple in Halloween. It's great. It's just how they are. I mean, the way Big John grabs his little cheese knife, and he's like, let's go get this butthead. And, like, really? Really? And then Big John, Little John, Big John, Little John. Oh, good. Now your killer knows exactly where you're at and that you both have split up. Good idea. Idiots. I just hate how everyone's an idiot in this movie. Everyone is so stupid in this movie. It drives me nuts. Absolutely hate that. Half the script or this movie, guys, is evil dies tonight. It's just said so many times, we get it. Shut up. So annoying. I hate that. And then there's also that older couple too that in the other house. They're stupid too. The old guy's like, there's somebody in our bathroom. Call the police. Like, get the hell out of the house. What, you tell me you don't have smartphones? Or you just get the hell out of the house. You got a fucking killer in there. Get out of your house. And that woman sits there way too long just watching her husband get beat the hell up. Get the hell out of that house. Get the hell out of that house. Get the hell out of that house. And she's fumbling with the lock. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. And then at the hospital, you have naked bodies in this room with windows all around it so everyone can see their dead, naked bodies. Like, what the hell? That's so stupid. And then the whole thing where we have this person that we think is Michael, but he's not, and he jumps out, kills himself, and oh, we've turned evil. Michael has turned us evil. That's stupid. I kind of like the idea of it, but how they just did it was so dumb. There are some great shots. I will say there is still some love and care put into the character of Michael and Laurie in this. Another negative, Laurie's not in this movie much, which is understandable. She did go through a brutal fight with Michael. Again, though, that's why I wish this was the end. I'll talk more of how I wish this kind of went down after we're done talking about all these movies here, but there are some beautiful shots and stuff. The idea of this town hunting and protecting each other is interesting, but it just doesn't work, in my opinion. Jamie is awesome once again, even though she's not given much to do. Everyone in this movie is a flippin' idiot, though. I hate that. Michael Myers just survived a fire. What are we going to do? Let's grab our baseball bats and our golf clubs. That'll get him. That'll take him down. Yeah. Come on. So dumb. And then Karen just takes a knife and stabs him in the back where you can totally survive. Why not slit the guy's throat? Something. Like, I don't get why we're just stabbing him in the back where he can still be alive. Come on. Come on. You beat him up with a couple baseball bats and then you stab him in the back and you think he's good, he's gone. Bunch of baloney. At the end of the day, guys, this movie's okay. It's not good. It's not good at all, guys. It's a 4 out of 10 for me. I like it because of the kills, but at the same time, I would rather YouTube all the kills. There's just so much dumb things that happen. When Cameron's dad goes inside Michael Myers' house, they hear the gunshot. Oh, it's our turn to go in. The first thing they do is shoot a closet. Again, now Michael Myers knows exactly where you're at. Good job, idiots. Ugh, they're just such idiots. Next up, guys, let's talk about Halloween Ends. And boy, do I have things to say about Halloween Ends. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not go see this in theaters. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know I believe in the theaters. Go see things in the theaters. Do not see Halloween Ends in theaters, guys. Watch it on Peacock. If you're going to watch it, don't even watch it. Honestly, guys, this movie is so flippin' bad. And now, I said earlier in the video, marketing, how they had Drew Barrymore on the poster of Scream, and how she's only in the movie for 10 minutes. That was good. That was a joke. This poster is, yes, fan-made. However, the trailers for Halloween Ends are showing this kind of crap. None of this crap really happens in the movie except for the last 10 minutes of the movie. Why are we advertising this movie as this when this is not what the movie is? I'm not going to spoil any of this movie, guys. But I will talk a little bit about this. This movie made me very angry, guys. This movie is awful. I cannot stand this movie. It has an interesting opening. It's weird, though. And it's very weird. And it sets up what the movie's going to be, unfortunately. And as soon as I watched this opening, I went, that was a good opening. This better not be the rest of this movie. There's a recap in this movie of all the movies. We don't need this. We know. It was absolutely stupid how it was done, too. Every other movie kind of feels like a cartoon character. Laurie Strode is saying these lines that are just like... Absolutely hate it. The script is awful in this movie. I thought the script in the last one was bad with Evil Dies Tonight. This one's just as bad. I don't know what they were thinking with some of these lines. They're terrible. There is this relationship. A lot of this movie focuses on Allison, which is fine. But it focuses on this relationship that I didn't buy for a millisecond. They meet in this interesting way, and it's just like, boom, okay, we like each other. It's like, no. And then they're like dates and stuff. No, I don't buy it for a millisecond. I was talking about how Hawkins should not be alive from the first Halloween 2018 movie. There's a character that shows up in this one that should not be alive. They very clearly should be dead. No way in Sam Hill that they lived from Halloween Kills. It drove me nuts. You don't see Michael... This is not really a spoiler. Something to know if you have not seen this movie. Michael Myers doesn't show up for about 45 minutes into this movie. And the first scene you see him in, he's in it for like maybe a minute or two. And then doesn't probably show up for another 15 minutes. So he really doesn't show up for another hour. Is really when you get a full scene with Michael Myers. An hour. Michael Myers is bigger on this poster than Laurie. Again, this is another fan-made poster. But all the posters for this movie are Michael Myers' face. Come on. Trailers were just saying how this movie's going to be this big, epic, Laurie Strode, Michael Myers thing. It's not. It's not at all, guys. Laurie Strode is also not in this movie much. He's maybe in it for 10-15 minutes. Michael Myers is in this movie for 10-15 minutes. It's all about this new character. And I admire what they were trying to do. They were trying to do something different. It seemed like they're kind of trying to do what Halloween 3 does, where it's just not even about Michael Myers at all. But this movie is Halloween Ends. You advertise this as being the end of Michael Myers and the end of the relationship between Laurie Strode. And you did not provide that. It pissed me off. This movie pissed me off. This movie is so boring, guys. So happy I watched this at home. In my film group, we were talking about this movie, and people who had already seen it said, do not go see this in theater. Do not pay to see this movie. Watch it at home. So glad I did, because it gave me the time to pause the movie, get up, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, move around, because I was so bored. I was so bored by this movie, guys. This movie is so boring. It is so awful and so boring. There really is... I don't know how to describe this movie. I don't know how you would describe the plot of this movie. There's really not a plot. There's a plot, but it's... Like, I can't say it without spoiling the movie, and there's just so much stuff going on. It's just really bored watching this, guys. This movie is awful. I watched this on Peacock. I hate that I watched this on Peacock, but I'm glad I watched it on Peacock. It's just that bad, guys. I really didn't find Laurie even interesting in this one. She's so annoying, honestly. She's a cartoon character in this movie, and she narrates part of this movie. It's not good, guys. It's not good. I hate what they did with Laurie's character in this. I really do. I cannot stand what they did with Laurie's character. I hate even more what they did with Michael's character in this movie. Kills, there's really not even that much kills. The kills aren't even that great in this one, guys. They're not memorable. And I'm not going to say what I want to say. Michael really doesn't do anything in this movie, is what I will say. Everything that's scary in this movie, it's not even scary. That's another thing, guys. This movie's not scary. There's no tension. There's no nothing in this movie. And it's just, and I was just never scared, and I absolutely hate this movie, guys. The last fight between Laurie and Michael is good. I think the fight in 2018 Halloween is better. Which is why I really, really wish they had just ended Halloween with that and made Halloween 2018 Halloween Kill ends and just made it that way. Like, it just did not work for me. I cannot stand it. Maybe you could have had a sequel if you wanted the idea of the town getting angry, which they kind of also bring back up in this one. If you maybe made Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends into one movie, it might have worked, but I still just... I think you should have had Halloween 2018 be the end of Halloween, make it Halloween Ends, and maybe had an epilogue kind of thing where you show Laurie, 4 years later. Laurie, in the movie, the way she is, how she's dealt with the trauma, how she's moved on, shown the characters moving on. I think that would have worked better. I just cannot stand this movie, guys. What I will say is that there are some well-directed scenes. It is ballsy, some of the stuff they did. I like some of the ambition that they had in this movie. The acting is still good in this movie, all the way around. Even with a certain character that I do not like in this movie, which by the end of the movie, it was pointless with this new character. But anyways, guys, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 10. That's being generous in my opinion. This movie is awful. Don't go see this in a theater. Do not watch this on Peacock. Don't watch it at all. It's so bad. Just watch Halloween Ends and pretend that's the final movie in the franchise, guys. Because that's what I'm going to do from now on. What an awful movie. What an awful movie this was, guys. Ugh. I need a drink. God, I just... Next up, guys, Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi movie. Movie that I had never gotten around to seeing. I heard great things about it. This movie has a lot of great tension, a lot of great sound editing, sound mixing, all the good stuff that you want to see in a horror movie is great in this movie. The direction from Sam Raimi, absolutely great. There is also some weird, gross, creepy scenes with a woman vomiting all over their main character and such like that. Very creepy, gross, cool kind of stuff in this horror movie. I will say some of the visual effects in this movie weren't all that great. There are some really cheesy, bad horror. There was also scenes in this, I'm like, I don't think this movie was one of those movies that came out in the 3D era necessarily, but it felt like it was there to be 3D. I'm not sure of that. The poster doesn't say in 3D, it just says coming soon. I don't know. It's very interesting, some of the visual effects choices. I just didn't like them. I wish there was more practical effects used in this movie, and it just doesn't happen. Again, well-directed. I don't think it was written as well as it should have been, but still very well-directed. Raimi is such a good director with horror, and I absolutely think this is another one to talk about with that. The movie is a lot of fun despite some of the things that aren't super strong. It is a really fun, tense horror movie. There is some really good, creepy stuff. And, that's all I'm going to say about it, guys, because we're on, an hour and a half that this video is going on now? Something like that. It is we're an hour and a half in. This is really a good, though, solid movie, and I absolutely enjoyed it. If you have not seen Drag Me to Hell, do yourself a favor like I did. Check out Drag Me to Hell. I didn't grade this. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10, guys. There's some weird things in it, some things that don't necessarily work with the effects and such like that. The writing isn't always great, but it is a solid, solid movie. Next up, guys, we have Slither. Slither, first movie really directed by James Gunn. Absolutely can tell that it is a James Gunn movie, too. It is that weird, funny, crazy, over-the-top awesomeness. From the very start, you just know it's a Gunn movie. It's a very odd and weird movie. There are, like I said with Drag Me to Hell, there are some gross moments in this movie that are just really gross and odd and nasty. I found myself saying, what the hell is going on so many different times. And it was positive. My eyes were glued to the screen. I'm just going, what is going on? And it's perfect. Perfect kind of thing with that. I had never seen this movie before, too. So this movie was very surprising watching. I literally just got done watching it before I started doing this. So it's so interesting, so disturbing, so creepy, so different. There's things like this, the alien attack that very much reminded me of Alien. There's a lot of inspiration from other horror movies absolutely in here that are great. Just things with meat and tentacles in this movie are absolutely insane. Just nasty, disturbing, creepy stuff. All the acting in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. This movie also reminds me of something like The Fly. You see all this nasty, gross, and it looks like practical makeup and a lot of stuff too. Absolutely great. There's a lot of dogs killed in this movie, guys, and I don't like that. Why do we gotta kill dogs? What did they ever do to us? They're just wonderful, wonderful things. Dogs are great. Don't kill dogs in movies, guys. I don't like it in John Wick, and I don't like it in this either. Don't kill dogs, especially not puppies. What is wrong with you? God, hate that. At the end of the day, guys, this is a very interesting movie. It's a little bit dated as far as some visual effects go. It's a little over the top at times, a little interesting, but it's got some weird humor in it, and it's definitely a James Gunn movie. If you liked Peacemaker, this reminded me a lot of Peacemaker. If you like the Suicide Squad, this reminded me a lot of Suicide Squad. So definitely check this one out. I really enjoyed this movie. I can't believe this movie took so long for me to see. I love it. It's going to be a movie I'm going to rewatch again and again and again. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyable movie, guys. That is the end of the movies I've seen this week, guys. Trying to think. I think Black Adam comes out this week, right? I think that's really the only big movie coming out this week. And honestly, for really the rest of the month. So yeah, I think that's really the big movie. I didn't really put the poster on here because I knew this was going to be a long one. I didn't want to stretch it out too far. But I think Black Adam comes out this week, and I'm really excited to see Black Adam. I'm hearing some good things about it. I'm also going to see The Longest Beer Run or something like that. The one that's on Apple TV+. It's playing in my movie theater. So I might check it out. I might go check out Amsterdam tomorrow. I'm not sure. I really went to the movies once this week to go see Nightmare on Elm Street, a movie that I'd already seen. So it's been a lackluster October. We'll say that. Especially with Halloween Ends. I was supposed to go see Halloween Ends in theater, but I'm so glad I didn't, guys. Don't go see Halloween Ends in theaters. Please don't. If you're going to watch it, go watch it on Peacock. Anyways, guys, that is the end of another episode of Code Man Movies. I'm sorry, this is probably the longest episode we have ever had. Hour and 32 minutes. Holy cow. But once again, guys, feel free to like, subscribe, share all that fun stuff. If you're enjoying this talk about movies, please suggest some movies you'd like me to watch or TV shows or anything for me to watch. I would absolutely like to have a discussion in here and have some fun talking movies and stuff with you guys. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for the end of for tonight. Until next week, we will see you next time. Keep watching those movies. Have some alcoholic beverages. Do you. Have fun. Keep smiling. All that fun stuff. Have yourself a good day, good night, whatever it is when you're watching this. Bye.